For this month's ink report, I've got two things to tell you right off the bat. Hey there, it's Grace. Welcome back to my channel. Glad to have you back for another video. High salute to you. If you just subscribe, because, thank you very much. Don't forget to hit that like button too, though, because it helps the YouTube algorithms out a bit, knowing which ones to do. Anyway, let's get back to the why you're here. Why are you here? What are those two things that I really need to just get off my chest? Number one, I will not be inking up 10 pens again in any 1 month. Heck no. Too many pens to carry around. And I'm trying hard, y'all, not to buy that 12 pen leather case, because it's been in my cart for, the last 6 months? I'm not thinking about it. Just out of the brain. It's out of the brain already. Number two, I got really irritated with one of my pens this month. And this is the first time that that's happened. Plus, it's a brand that I did not expect would give me issues. Okay, enough about that. I'll tell you about it when I get to that pen and ink parents review. Let's get to the overhead and review the pens that brought me immense pleasure first. Shall we? Let's go.
Yeah, hide, last pen. Hide. Anyway, I want to show you my cheat sheet that I take around with me because I swatched the colors for the month in here, and this is my journal. This is where I write each evening and where I record, like I said, in my when I did my journal planner, I'm recording the week on the weekly pages. I don't always have this journal, this sterling ink journal with me because it stays in my office right here. And I needed to know which pens I was using because I carry this around with me practically everywhere because all the pens are sitting in the loops here. And so I wanted to show you, I created a cheat sheet, and this is the sheet I created that I now use. I'll have a record. I'm going to do this for every month, and I'll have a record of all of these. And I'm so excited to have another record of why another record I need. Do I need another record? No. But in the moment, in the month, I need to understand what colors, what size nibs, what pens, what inks. And so this little cheat sheet sits right in there. And when I am, this is, as I said, this is always with me. So I just need to use that. Anyway, that's neither here nor there. Really? Yep, that's neither here nor there. Okay, let's get to currently inked. This is the currently inked. This is what I did in the beginning of January. So I had 10 pens inked up. Yeah, 10 pens, y'all, is just too much for me. It's the choice. It really is the choice. And I got to tell you a little story. I'm not a person who likes to go shopping. I've never liked that. Never liked to go, except for pens, yeah, and inks. I will shop for them all day. But as for clothes shopping, yeah, I'm not that type of person. When I go to a store, like the store, what is the store called? Ross, I think it's Ross, or TJ Maxx or something. And those long racks of clothes, my brain is on overload. A whole lot muddles the thinking and I cannot make a choice. So I think that's part of why this 10 pen thing did not work for me, and I probably won't ink up 10 pens. I will continue to ink up 6 because I have the case for 6 and it works for me. But also there will be pens that I will choose to carry over or not. But I'll show you in the Pips review sheets what I'm doing with that. Anyway, let's get to the first one. The first pen is my JInhao in transparent red, 9019. 9019? Yes. I love this pen. Oh my gosh, I just love this pen. It is inked up in the Diamine Sweet Dreams, and that's a scented ink from the Diamine ink vent in January. Wrong. Diamine ink vent for 2023, and I love this pen. Truth be told, because it was a scented ink, and I know scented inks feather, I was not expecting to enjoy writing with this pen. I hardly noticed any feathering. And let's see if I can find some. Look, right to the page. This is me transcribing. And there's hardly any feathering on this. But the other one the Diamine had, the Cinnabon, dang, that thing feathered like nobody's business. I just did not enjoy that. So right now, this JInhao 9019 with an extra fine nib to boot and Diamine Sweet Dreams, that deserved a 7. The reason it gets a 7 is because it's a scented ink. The longer you write with it, the more the scent, or the longer I write with it, this might not happen for everybody, the longer I write with it, the more the scent got to my nose. And so I can't write for a very long session with it, but I'm really glad that I didn't see the feathering that I saw with the other ink. So this gets a 7. I will obviously continue to use this pen because I love this pen. I am going to hold off using the Diamine ink, Sweet Dreams. It is very pink, but it's also that scent. I'm going to hold off using it for the time being. Alrighty, next one up, and can you see this? These two pens, I don't know if you can see, these two pens are gigantic, and this looks, the Decimo looks like a little baby in between. It's being protected. Anyway, next pen up is my Pilot Vanishing Point Decimo. I love this pen in champagne. It has a fine nib, and I inked it up with Diamine. It's another ink vent. Diamine Early Dusk. Now this is it's a really, it's a staple ink. It's a staple ink that reminds me of my regular blue ink. For those who don't know, for years I chose to only write with blue ink because I didn't like writing with black ink. There was nothing magical about writing with black ink. And so I only wrote with blue ink. And this ink, especially in my journal, it reminded me of those days of writing only with blue ink. And I say those days, and that's because I write with a lot of colors these days, because currently ink gets me to have that. Anyway, I truly enjoy this pen. I enjoy the pairing. It's a great pairing. There's no issues with flow or anything. I am considering getting the regular standard, I don't know what you call it, standard Vanishing Point in matte black. Before I get that, I've heard that Mahjong has one, Mahjong's A1, and I think I might get that to test out that larger size, because this is such a narrow pen that sometimes I can't write long with it. But anyway, this was good. I really enjoyed that pairing. And that got an 8. Yeah. The next one up is, the third pairing is my Monteverde Super Mega Pen with a carbon fiber body. I just love this pen. And, okay, let me tell you something. When you love a pen and you love an ink, it is not a foregone conclusion that the pairing will go well, or that you'll have a good writing experience. But this was a match made in heaven. Oh my gosh. Every time I reached for this pen, I smiled inside. I literally smiled inside. This thing, every time I hold it, it is so freaking heavy every single time. There's beautiful flow every single time. And I inked it up with the Diamine Inkvent Humbug, one of my favorite of the whole 25. I'm going to see if that comes. I'm hoping some of that shimmer comes up. Yeah, there we go. I love this combination. This ink reminds me of Diamine Writer's Blood. I love the deep richness of this color. This color is more in the red than the Writer's Blood, but still, it is a gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous ink. I use this in this pen, and this pen has the Omniflex nib, which is kind of cool, which is really, I want to show you, let's see, this is the pen and ink pairing sheet. So I did this. The Omniflex, so you can see the flex showing up there, and it's so beautiful. Anyway, let's get back to this. I did not see Humbug show up with that shimmer at all in the writing. I'm really disappointed of it. Is there another time I used it? Yeah, look at all of that. And none of that has simmer. This is my transcription notebook, Leuchtturm transcription notebook, and none of it has, I can't see a darn shimmer. And I believe the reason for that is because I had such pleasure writing with this pen that I shook it up when I first began, and then I never shook it up again. And so I really only just got the beautiful ink, but none of the shimmer. And the shimmer is so sweet. The shimmer is like a pinkish, it's a pink shimmer in there. Anyway, so this one, because of the shimmer issue, I'm going to give this an 8.75. I know, what's with the numbers, Grace? A number comes to me and I write it down. That's it. I know the caliber of score I can give it, and that was an 8.75. It wasn't exactly a 9, but it was definitely very good. I love that. The next pen is my Pilot Metropolitan Gold. I've had this pen for almost a year, probably a year now. And I remembered when I was doing my top 5 pens, and I showed my collection, I remembered that I had this pen. And so I decided to use it in January. It is really a very nice writer. A beautiful, beautiful nib. And it is a medium nib. Just absolutely gorgeous. This was inked up in Diamine Masquerade. And this is another ink that, this one here rather, this is another ink that has shimmer in it. See that shimmer, see some of their gold shimmer? It's so beautiful. I loved writing with this. I love writing with it. I need to remember that this pen is still there. I probably need to move it up in the drawer so I can remember to write with it. It's interesting that if this ink were any lighter, I probably would not like it because I'm not a fan of light inks. I didn't regularly use it. I did use it, let's put it that way. I did use it, but I think, yeah, there it is. I did use it, and I think it's a beautiful writer. Yeah, when is a shimmer ink? If an ink has a shimmer, I really want it to show up. It's okay. It's okay. The next pen in the lineup, before I go there, I need to give it a score. This scored an 8. Yeah, it's really good, really good. The next pen and ink in the lineup, I'm going to skip. That's this one here, because it is last. And I'll tell you about that. That's the one I told you about in the beginning of the video. That's the thing. Let's get to the next one. The next pen, I'm just a fan of JInhao pens. I'm a fan of Asian pens anyway. I love Sailor. Not Sailor, I love Pilot. I have one Sailor. Yeah. I love Pilot. I have many Pilots. But I love Chinese brand pens, and this is JInhao X750. I mean, look at that. I love pens that are simple but different. It doesn't have to have bells and whistles. In fact, the more bells and whistles it has, I'm less attracted to it. That is just gorgeous. This is the JInhao X750, and it is inked up in the Octopus fluids. This is the Write and Draw ink. It is Green Ostrich, what I was going to say. Oh, that's it. I got it in the ink flight, I think it was 82. It might have been 81. I can't remember. Anyway, according to the manufacturer for Write and Draw inks, it's a smudge-proof and waterproof, and it has good ink flow without clogging. Yeah, absolutely, to all three of those. I love writing with this pen. I love writing with this pairing. This pen has now become a favorite pen of mine, and the ink color is absolutely a dream to write with. I think because of the ink's properties, it's a Write and Draw ink. It's a wet ink. I need to try it in a different medium. Yeah, I still like it. I still really enjoy it. I have to remember when I'm writing with this, though, that I need to write in block letters. Let's see if I have a sample of that. Come on. Yeah, see, this is in script, and I can read it, but I think it's almost like a glob of color for most of it. And I think that it needs to be written with maybe a different ink, a different nib. I don't know. I'm trying to see if I have anything written with it. And say I wrote in block letters here. So, yeah, I think block letters works rather than cursive. And I'm a cursive writer. I've learned how to write cursive, and that's generally what I write. So, we're going to give this one a 7. Love the pairing, love the ink, love the pen. Okay. Stuff going on with the writing experience. Next one up. Oh, this is the top pen for 2023, and it went into 24, still in that top position. I love this pen. This is the Leonardo Momento Zero Grande 2.0, and the ink in it is Pennonia Ink Lab L18. That's this purplish one here. I just love this pen. Oh my God, I love when this pen is in my hand. The thing is, I had such a different initial reaction to this ink when I first swatched it for the ink flight, and it wasn't my favorite ink. It wasn't, but it's now become my favorite. And I'm just trying to debate whether it needs to be a permanent until I change it ink for this pen. I love these two together. I mean, just look at that. So good. So there will be no surprise at this rating at all. A whopping 10, of course, because I can. The next pairing rather, is my JInhao X450 and Inkebara de Brown. Yes, it is the JInhao 450 in the baby poop color. Baby poop color that goes in the yellow pen. This is my second X450, and I love this pen. The ink flowed so well in this pen. It's not too wet, and it worked well. This is a medium nib, and it worked well in this medium nib. Let's see if I have that last one. Oh my goodness gracious. I cannot. Baby poop. Where's the baby poop? Where's the baby poop? There's the baby poop. That. I just love the look of this. The ink was wet, but it didn't lay down too much ink when I wrote. I didn't have issues with flow. I just loved writing with this pen so much. I didn't realize until I started taking notes for this ink report that I actually have 3 JInhaos in this lineup. What the flip? I got a JInhao thing going. So this pen, because this pairing rather, really, it gets a 9.5 because there's a lot to reach to this 10. There's a lot now, because I know. Okay, next one up, next pairing number 8 is this one. I love a TWSBI. I love my TWSBI pens. This is the TWSBI Diamond 580 in Iris, and it is inked up in Octopus Fluids Write and Draw Petrol Axolotl. I must say, when I first heard that name, I'm like, really? That's the name of it? But I love that name now, and I love that ink. And these two work so well together. I do have to show you something. Let me try and find it really quickly first. Let me try and find it. Okay, so this is my transcription book, and this is my journal. And to me, they wrote differently. One is a deeper color and one is a lighter color, and it has to do with the paper I'm writing. But I found it fascinating that I got two different looking colors on the papers. I doesn't matter to me. I still love how it showed up. Maybe that's just me. Maybe you didn't even see it just now. There is no issues with the pen writing, the flow, the ink on either pen. The video before this video was my spreadsheet video for my top pips for 2023. I love making that video. I'm a spreadsheet girl. I'm a bit nerdy in that way. Go look at that one, because that one's fun. Anyway, in the video I created for that one, the top pen that got a 10 the most was a TWSBI. TWSBI just... Okay. And if you wanted to be surprised, I just gave away the plot. So, but still go and watch that video. Anyway, this pairing definitely was no surprise then. Just so good. This one gets a 9.5 as well. Alrighty. Now, for the two problem children. Alrighty. If you don't know about this pen is my Narwhal Horizon Aurora. And the ink in it is the Sailor Manyo Fuji. Look at that beauty. Oh my goodness, that is so gorgeous. I like these two. This is not the best pairing. This is not the best pairing. Let's start with the ink. I love the look of the ink, as I said. The swatch is absolutely gorgeous. My history with this pen, I got it at a pen show. It had baby's bottom. They sent me a new nib. And the new nib is okay. It's a medium nib. So the pen actually writes now, which is good, because I didn't use this when I first got it. I didn't use it for quite a few months because I couldn't. Baby's bottom is an issue, and I don't have the ability yet to do my own fine-tuning with nibs. So I just asked them to replace it, which they did. They did quite well, quite easily. No issues there. This ink in this pen does not work. I think this pen is a fine nib, fine or medium. I forget which one they sent me. I think I have it fine here, but I think it's a medium. This ink, I think needs a smaller nib. And I think this pen needs a drier ink. This is fairly wet. And so that made the pairing, okay. And this is my first Narwhal. I think I want another one, but I just don't want the experience of that first one with the baby's bottom. And I know that's just not part of the course for all Narwhal pens or any pen, but it's just made me hesitant, really. I thought I'd like this pairing, but no. I really wanted these two to shine together, and I wanted them to be a perfect complement to each other, but they weren't. I think back to the drawing board for both of these pens, but this one got a 5. It just did not work together. I think I'll try the pen with a standard ink, no extra bells and whistles, no shimmer, no sheen, nothing, and see how it writes. I won't be doing that for February. And try the ink maybe in a TWSBI. Anyway, let's just go to the last pen. Oh my gosh, I am so disappointed. This is the Pelikan Golden Beryl. This was actually on my grail list, on my want list. It wasn't a grail pen, it was a want list. I love the look of this pen. I absolutely love the look of this pen. It's beautiful. It is an absolutely beautiful pen. But your girl wasn't happy with this match. This was matched with Diamine Bucks Fizz. I wasn't too keen on the Bucks Fizz when I first saw it. I love the color in the swatch, but when it goes to writing, it turns different somehow. And in this pen, it just did not exist. And I gotta let you know, this is the third ink I've had in this pen. Granted, it's another shimmer ink. Maybe that's my problem with this particular pen, and it is a fine nib. Maybe Pelikan doesn't work well with shimmers with fine nibs. I don't know. Not putting out there as a solid theory, but I don't even have a writing sample for this pen, this pairing rather. Anytime I went to write with it, I only wrote with it twice and then I gave up and I dumped the rest of the ink. But anytime I wrote with it, it would not write. It just would not come through. And I'm so disappointed. I am sad. I'm sad that this is my first Pelikan and this is my first Pelikan experience. I'm really, really sad at that. So yeah, it is, I can't even give it a rating because I have no experience writing with it. So believe it or not, it doesn't even get a 0. It gets a goose egg, nothing, because I don't have a writing example to compare. I have no writing experience with the pen at all. So what I've done is I've actually inked it up with regular ink, one of my favorites, Earl Grey, Diamine Earl Grey. I'm just going to write with it. It's not going to be part of February's currently ink lineup. I'm just going to use the pen and kind of just give it some breathing room just to be and show me what it's about, because I must have fallen in love with something, right? Dang it. Anyway, the last thing before I go is which of these inks am I going to get a bottle of? And I got to tell you, these 5 inks are part of the Diamond ink vent, so I already have a bottle. I don't need to order that. So it's really between these 4, this one and these 3, because that's a bottled ink as well. I have that. So it's between these 4. And if this is going to be Leonardo MZG, is going to be inked up permanently until I change my mind in Pennonia Ink Lab, I need to get a bottle of that. Do I want a bottle of baby poop brown? Yes, I do. I really do. And I think the next one that I'm going to definitely get is Petrol Axolotl. I absolutely love this ink. I absolutely love this. I'm not sure yet about this green ostrich. I think the reason is because I have quite a few greens. A couple of swatching videos are coming up where I swatch. There's an Inky coming up with greens, and so I have a lot of greens that I don't need to actually get this one. So the 3 inks that I'm going to get bottles of are Pennonia Ink Lab L18, Inkebara, Poopy Brown, Poopy Baby Poop Brown, or as they call it, Dear Brown. And then Octopus Fluids, Write and Draw, Petrol Axolotl. I want to quickly share with you also, these are the pip sheets, the pen and ink pairing sheets. Each pen has a single sheet, and I just want to see a comparison of the inks that I put in a single pen. So this is the JInhao 9019, and so far it's been inked up twice, once in October and then once again in January. Oh, that's January 2024. That needs to change. Okay. This got, for scented ink, it gave it a 7. I have nice pairing. Ink was wet with good flow. No issues with feathering, which was really good. I love the pen. The ink over time was just too much. The scented ink over time. Alrighty, let's get to that second one. Pilot Vanishing Point got an 8. What is up with me and putting in the wrong year? It's still January. People still do that. This was a beautiful writing experience. This nib and this ink worked really well together. I enjoyed this writing experience. So gorgeous. Next one up is the Monteverde Super Mega, the carbon fiber pen. That's this little beauty here. It is inked up in the Humbug. The only thing that was wrong with this is the shimmer. I don't even know if the shimmer is showing up. No, I don't think. The shimmer's not showing up in any of this. And that's what had me, that's what gave it, I gave it an 8.75. But that's what had me given it an 8 rather than a 9. I love the pen, love the ink, but it didn't shimmer didn't show up as it should. Pilot Metropolitan Gold. Oh my goodness gracious. This is such a beautiful. Enjoyed this pen pairing. I forgot how much I liked this pen. And get up, pen. This is the pen. This is the Pilot Metropolitan Gold. And it has a medium nib. And I love it so much. I love how that, oh, look at that. This is what I wanted Humbug to do, and it didn't. But Masquerade does it. Same ink vent, same thing, but Masquerade did it beautifully. My JInhao X750. This one, I was debating whether or not I would write the same ink again because I carried over the ink from December to January. And I decided I needed a record of each month. And it's not a matter of, it's a matter of the ink, yes, but I also want to have a record of each month. And I just write in here, it just says carryover. So I know that there was ink left over that I used this month. Again, did not disappoint. But it definitely needs, I think, a larger nib to really, or maybe it needs a smaller nib. Might need a smaller nib. I don't know. We'll see. I'm going to experiment with that one. Next one up is the Leonardo MZG, which was also a carryover. As I said, it might be a permanent ink in this pen. I got to buy the ink first so that it can be permanent ink. But this beautiful, absolutely beautiful pairing. Wonderful. Another carryover because I had ink left and I didn't want to dump it. This is the Baby Poop Brown, as they call it, Dear Brown. I don't suppose Baby Poop Brown would work as a marketing tool. Yeah, probably not why they called it. Anyway, I like it. I like it. Octopus Fluids in my TWSBI Diamine 580. This was another carryover that I needed to finish up. I really, really dislike dumping. So I just included in my 10 pens. And that's why I had 10 pens this month, or rather last month in January. Great pairing. It showed up differently on two separate papers, separate type of papers, Leuchtturm and Sterling ink, the planner. Weird, strange to me, but I want this. This is going to be a bottle. And then next up is the Nahvalur Horizon. This is the first time I'm actually using the pen, particularly. First time for the ink as well, Sailor Manyo Fuji. I think the ink needs a different pen nib, and the pen needs a different ink. I don't think these two work well together. What can I say about the Pelikan Golden Beryl? Nothing much. Let's just move on. Yeah, that's all I have. That's all I have.